Around 2 a.m. this morning, residents said they were awoken to screams of people saying fire, fire, fire. And when they ran out of their homes, a fire had then engulfed this section of the Kennedy Road Informal Settlement, which is one of the biggest and the oldest informal settlements here in the Durban CBD. Of course, this is not the first time that this area or residents here have dealt with fires. This is, in fact, unfortunately, Lisa, one of the settlements that is rather prone to these incidents. Residents telling us that this is now the fourth major fire that has happened in this particular area. But sadly, of course, this time around, as you mentioned there in your introduction, the two lives that were lost, a 25-year-old and a 1-year-old baby. Residents that we've been speaking to, just speaking about detailing last night and how they tried to rush to this particular shack and how they tried to break down the door and the windows and pull the victim out. Unfortunately, it was too late and she then died tragically in that fire together with that 1-year-old baby. So since this morning, of course, it's been really difficult for the residents here. We're also battling a cold front as well, Lisa, on top of what they're now having to contend with. It has been raining on and off, which has been making sort of the situation even worse for them. Let me just step out of shot very quickly for our viewers just to see residents are basically now just hanging around waiting for a direction from the authorities in terms of what is going to be happening now. You see in your visuals some young people here as well, these young boys also just trying to pick up the pieces essentially of their lives. People here left with nothing. The victims telling us that they were left with nothing but the clothes on their back. You're talking important documentation, Aliza, your ID books, birth certificates, all lost in the fire. Of course, as I was saying, officials from the various departments are responding this morning. We had the eThekwini Municipality, the Department of Cooperative Governance, which of course is dealing with the immediate relief for these people that have been affected by this fire in terms of what is going to happen now. We do know that they are now trying to find halls or facilities nearby that can house some of the people that have been displaced. But as my colleague Japan Matibula was just panning to his right, some of the people are starting to piece together what they can from the rubble and saying that they want to rebuild their home. Of course, government is indicating that from their side help is on the way. But let me bring in now the spokesperson for the Department of Human Settlements in KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Ndabezinhle, who was also here early this morning, and he, together with his team, have also now been working, of course, with their sister departments to sort of try and get an assessment of what has happened here. But also what is important here, Liesl, is what is going to be the next step now. So let's bring in Dabe, the Department of Human Settlements, of course, critical in a situation like this, because Dabe, the biggest thing is now shelter. These families have lost everything, and whilst, of course, other departments will be dealing, Home Affairs will be dealing with in critical documentation, you are now the department that comes in next in terms of what is going to happen to these residents. Ndabe?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. This morning, the MEC for Transport and Human Settlements, Bonso Duma, received a call from the distressed families. When I arrived here, he was already talking to the Minister of Human Settlements, Thembis Melane. We can indicate that there's a roving team involving officials from national, the province, as well as the eThekwini, dealing with the issues around the rollout of human settlements, but in particular the delivery of the building material, because that is what is important. The MEC is quite touched by the determination shown by the residents here, working with the councillor Mkhize, you know, to rebuild their lives. But uppermost, the MEC instructed us to meet with the families of the two souls that have departed. We've met with the Zulu family. We are trying to assist them to, keep in touch with the elders back in Mzimkhulu. We've also met with the Mbangwa family. They are also trying to assist, to reach out to other family members so that we begin to deal with, the burial. These are some of the issues that we are grappling with as we move forward.